Good day, welcome to eLearn Math. Today we'll be talking about the closing tools and techniques. We'll be looking at each of the closing techniques and the way they can be applied at work and at sales. The first Good day, welcome to eLearn Math. Today we'll be looking at closing techniques that can be applied as a salesman. Remember, the concept of sales goes beyond the people in marketing department or sales department. It boils down to everybody in the organization. So what this practically means is that everybody is involved in the process of selling, because selling is the only activity that brings money into an organization. So it's your responsibility to join hands in increasing the firm's revenue. And it has been discovered through research that 90% of the time, salespeople do not make the sale because they do not close. Hence the phrase, always be closing. Now what we want to say here and teach and learn and converse in this subject matter is to show us how we could close and the various forms of closing techniques that are available for use depending on the scenario. So as a result of this, we're going to state the closing technique and how it is being used and give some certain examples. Let's start by going through the first one, which is called 1, 2, 3 close. The 1, 2, 3 close is a fantastic closing technique that focuses on giving 3 features or solution type of a product to the customer. What it basically does is that it summarizes 3 sets of items the person is going to get, or 3 sets of benefit the person is going to get. So you hear something like this: we will give you this, that, and this other one. This may be the feature of the product, benefits, or add-ons that are sweeteners to the deal, but what you must focus on is that you must make them 3. And because they make them 3, it conveys a message to the person's mind and brain that you're giving them 3 quality things, like a 3-fold card. They feel the product comes with the level of quality it comes. Most customers want products that are free, perfect, and available now. So this is a classic business measurement trilogy of cost, quality, and time, which is also called a triple constraint. So the ability to use this is going to help you in trying to convey the message, which is the value proposition, to the customer. Let's look at certain examples. The examples for 1, 2, 3 close are as follows. Number 1, you could say this product is cheaper, faster, and more reliable than that of competition or that of product B. Remember, we said cheaper, faster, and more reliable, 3 features. Let's look at another one. I've heard about the bank that's called Union Bank. It's called big, strong, reliable. These are synonyms, but they work in certain ways in the mind of customers to convey a certain sense of wordings that denotes an emotional move in their heart. Okay, let's look at the third one, which says our detergents clean twice faster and whiter. Faster and whiter. Cleans twice faster and whiter conveys a message to the customer. That's the example of a 1, 2, 3 close. So be sure to use them when it's most important. The best time to use this kind of close is when you want to confer and emphasize on a product feature. So look at the big, strong, reliable means that the bank has a strong balance sheet size and is not going to fail. This is how it works. The 1, 2, 3 close works through the principle of triples, a curious pattern where 3 things given together act as a coherent set of 3 hammer blows that gives a complete, consistent, and compelling message to the customer's mind. And this is what is called value proposition. So this is the reason why the customer should buy from you. We are big, we're strong, and we are reliable. So it creates a message that you have a strong balance sheet and you're not going to fold. Let's look at the second one, which is called adjournment clause. For the adjournment clause, you do not go to the sales at once. In fact, you give them time to think. Customers always like to be in charge of their decisions. They want to make their decisions and look smart in the face of their clients. Have you ever had a friend that bought something and that stuff worked well and the person said, I'm proud to buy this? Because they want to own that decision. They don't want to be pushed into a decision. So for adjustment clause, you have to give them all the value proposition and give them space to make the ultimate call. It's like pouring the card before them and say, you need to make the decision. Sorry, I can't make it for you. I can only give you the prescription. You need to make the decision. So this type of clause is used when you are sure of yourself and you just pour the features or the benefits and you're sure the customer needs this solution. You also tell them that they probably need time to make the best decision for the firm. The reason why you're doing that is that you don't want to force customers to make decisions that's going to boomerang and make them go away forever. It is important that you do this most of the time because customers do not like to be pushed to buy. Customers prefer to buy themselves. Also, customers like to buy from people they trust. The question is, how do we build trust? We build trust by letting them know what is in need for them and also allowing them to make the final decision. This is how to build trust. Let's see when appropriate to use this technique. We need to use this when they are in doubt. When the customer is in doubt, let him come to the final decision. The reason why customers are in doubt is because they don't trust us, or probably they've been duped, or they have been dissatisfied in the future, and they don't want to get into the same problem in the future today. So you are sure you have them convinced with the product features and demonstration you've done. You can combine this with setting up a next meeting and say, can we just meet in tomorrow to look at any other gray areas that might be of questioning to you. This is an avenue to solidify the deal and to make them to trust you more. The less you push a customer to buy, the more they want to believe in you because you're not pushing them to. Now, offering an adornment can be a nice surprise for the customer because they expect other people to push them to buy. But what you've practically done is to make them have the freedom to make the decision. Now, the essence of selling is to remove tension from the process and convincing the person by building trust in the product and in you to buy. Now, this is easy to manage when the salesperson visits the customer as opposed to having to hope that they will call you back. Now, at this point, you must have gone to the customer's office, demonstrated. Perhaps the customer is in doubt. It feels because you came to his apartment, it's easier to convince him. He would like to come to your office to see how the product is going to work. And this affords the opportunity to draw him down to the office where the demonstration can be done and probably where he sees more people buying from you. An example is as follows. This is an important decision for you, Mr. Smith, and I think you need time to consider how important it is. Shall we discuss these details further next time I see you? Or you could say, I can see you thinking very carefully about this. Shall I come back next week to see how you are progressing about this decision? Remember, we use this when the customer is in doubt and you need to give him the ultimate space to make the ultimate decision. This is the end of adjournment clause. Let's consider the next type of clause, which is called affordable clause. The affordable clause is the process of closing out any objections they have about price by making sure they can afford it. Now, this is called price objection. You need to find out how much they can afford it in terms of their budget. So you could ask them questions like this: what kind of product are you looking at? What range of budgets are you thinking of? Then show that you have a finance plan that can fit in their capacity to pay. So that's why I always advise organizations to come up with products with 3 variants, so that you have a classic, you have a premium, and you have a super premium, so that people can choose between these options. Bring in other factors to refrain the real price, such as lifetime cost. Sell them something else they can afford. So you have to have something to sell to clients. That's why a bad product is a product that you can only get only one version. You should be able to get different versions and pay differently for each of them. So the last option, bring your price down to what they are prepared to pay, and that should be the last result. Now, example as follows: what are your budgets? Let's see how we can help you. You could also say the initial cost seems high, but at the end of the year, you would have recouped the cost. Another example, you could also say, if we can bring the price down, so what you say, will you buy today? You will notice that these questions are to make decisions. The ultimate responsibility of the salesperson is to close the deal, and the essence of the closing technique is to draw you closer to the sales funnel tip, so that sales can be made. So these questions are going to help you to make that ultimate decision. How does affordable close work? It works by structuring the finance of the deal to fit into the other person's ability to pay and the person's budget. This is called effective demand, ability to and willingness to pay for services and goods. So if you say, I can't afford it, it's often more of an excuse than a real objection. What you should look at is, do they want to buy? And if they want to buy, they'll come up with a reasonable budget that you can work with. If they don't want to buy, they will come up with another objection. So always come up and ask question: what is your budget and how can we help you? Because we are here to help you, and they will listen to you. The next closing technique is called alternative close. The alternative close works by offering more than one option or an alternative to the customer. Like I said previously, it is wrong for you to offer one option to a customer that is willing to buy. The number of alternatives should be very few. Usually I advise people 2 or 3, so that people usually takes the middle. Now, research has shown that when you bring up one option, people rarely buy. When you put up 2 options, people buy the first, which is the cheaper option, and when you put up 3 options, people buy the middle option. Do you know why? People want to err in the side of caution, so they rather buy the middle, so they will not feel rejected or dejected after they make the purchase. So note that this technique works well in many different situations when you're seeking agreement, not just selling products. So always go to a table with 3 options. Always offer them the first big one, then you will see that people will come to the lower one. So always offer alternative solution in your books. Now, example would be, will you like one package or the 2? Or which of these courses seem best for you? Shall we meet next week or next week, the week after, to discuss further on this? Do you like it to be delivered to your office or your home? These options are given to customers so they can make the ultimate decision. Most times people pick either of the 2 or come up with their 3rd option, whichever way you have gotten an answer from the customer. How does this work? The alternative clause is a variant of the broad or assumptive clause and work primarily through the assumption principle. where you act as if the customer has already decided to buy, and the only question left is which of the limited number of options they should choose, or otherwise. The next closing technique is assumptive close. The assumptive close acts as if the person has made the decision already. So you're making an assumption for the customer. You turn the focus on the conversation towards the next level of question or the next level of action that must be done, such as how many do you want? When do you want it delivered? What size are you looking for? And so on. You can also say, what quantity are you asking for? You assume they are about to buy, and you need to move to the next step. It's an assumptive clause. An example is, when shall we deliver to you? What will your friends say when they say this? Will 20 cases be enough? You see, that is different from the one you give options. It could have been, will 20 or 25 cases enough? So you can combine two closing techniques, the one that talks about giving options and the one that talks about assumptive. So you could say, what your friends or your neighbors say about this product when you take it home. So you're taking your friends and the neighbor together. Now the assumptive clause works by the assumption principle, where acting confidently as if something is true makes it difficult for the other person to deny this. For them to say you're wrong will be to cast themselves as an antisocial naysayer. Balance sheet clause. The balance sheet clause is a beautiful clause I love. Here you list both the benefits of purchasing it, which is called the pros, and also the cost of not purchasing it, which is called the cons. Of course, the pros is the reason we want them to buy. You may even write it down like a balance sheet. In a balance sheet, we have an asset side and a liability side. The asset side is what you want to create for yourself. The liability is not what you want to have on your books. So make sure that the pros columns is longer than the cons product. So the con column must be shorter. Usually make it about 1 or 2, and the pros about 5 to 7. Start with the cons. And do you know the reason why we start with con? Because by the time you get to the pro, you'd have forgotten the cons. The customer would have taken his mind off the con. The pros will refresh on his mind. So you need to start with the cons and keep them very short. But do make it sound credible, as if they are giving them a fair consideration, which you are. So you want to sound very credible. Now the second one is for you to list the pros and the cons. Start with the cons and end with the pros. Keep the cons short. Make the pros very elaborate and very convincing. Now, example is, let's weigh in here. You are not getting this, I understand, but you are well within your budget, and we have this, and this. Is that not a fair deal? Or you could say, please let's look it together with a very fair eye. What are the cons? What are the pros? Let's start with the con for customer. Number one is a little bit expensive. I think that's the only con I can see. Do you have another one? The customer will say no. Then let's go to the pro. Number one is durable, is qualitative, is the highest in the industry, our warranty is the biggest, and all that. You see, then you come and say, please judge for yourself. This only has 1, this has 4. The result has shown itself. Will you make the decision now? You make the decision. Now the balance sheet clause works this way. You need to build trust through appearing to take a balanced and a fair approach to judging what quality or what the customer wants. It guides the other person's thinking and hopefully saves them the trouble of weighing up the pros and cons. Like I said previously, the essence of a salesperson is to bring the benefits and the pros to the eyes and mind of the client. Sometimes they might not see it. What you're doing is to bring the pros towards their mind so they can make the easy judgment. The other one is called the calendar close. The calendar close is a technique used if they are not ready to close now. Here you agree on the future date when you can meet them to discuss further. Understand that not everybody buy at the same time. Some people will still be in the sales funnel, so you must understand that you must put these people on your calendar and keep the deal alive. You must keep contacting them and return to them on their objections. Mr. Kingsley, I've not heard from you from what we discussed last month. I'm aware that you need this product and you showed a lot of commitment. I am glad to inform you that we have a version 2.3 now. Will you be willing to check it out, how it works, and it solves the problem which you explained or you objected to the last time? Putting dates in your diary may also be an assumptive method, assuming that closure has taken place and that it is just a matter of when it happens. Example of calendar close as follows. When shall we meet the next coaching meeting? Are you free next Wednesday at 2 p.m.? What new thing shall we discuss next week? This is how a calendar close works. Putting a date in the diary is easy for the other person and may be agreed as an exchange for you not pressing further for a close now. Dates in the diary also get them thinking about the future. They have their mind really drawn to that date and they work towards it. So it keeps them engaged in their mind on the subject matter that you want to discuss with them. Companion close. Companion close is a very beautiful technique used when you sell indirectly or directly to the person you are targeting. You sell to a person they are with. Imagine an husband and a wife inspecting a house. You know the man is the person that is going to make the sale or that is going to release the money in terms of the funding of the project. However, you understand that the woman has a pivotal role in making the final decision. So at this point, you turn to the woman and start discussing with the woman. And I'm going to see that the kitchen is large enough. And from the kitchen, you can see the backyard. From the backyard, you can see the mango tree. And all that, you begin to pitch the value to the customer. Indirectly, you are getting the attention of the person that is going to pay. Start by being friendly with them, then gradually increase the selling to them. Cast them as an authority, particularly as they buy into your idea. In fact, it's always easier when they keep talking and you can draw out points or selling points, what we call handles, that you're going to flog in terms of repetition to the client. So what you do is that you rope in a companion. It could even be a sales assistant who can walk back and say, wow, this is a fantastic dress. Oh, that jewelry. Oh, people love that jewelry, and walk by. If you're lucky, you might make 2 sales to both the husband and the wife. Now, an example is this. Good day, sir. Madam, you seem to like this veranda. Which part do you like the best? You're selling to the woman, whereas the man is listening. Also, you could sell to a friend that just came as an accompaniment to the purchase process. The moment you sell to the friend, the other person looks at you and he agrees. It makes the sale easier for you. This is how the companion close works. Because the companion to whom you are selling the idea does not have to make a financial obligation or commitment towards the selling process, it typically says yes and agrees with you and agrees with you. It doesn't want to say no. So when the real target of the sale sees that the other person has agreed, they are more likely to agree to you in order to maintain consistency. There's something called consistency of sale. It's actually trying to get yes. Like you ask a question, do you like the veranda? I say yes. Hope is wearing too stressful to get here. I say yes. So what you get is consistent yes for 5 to 6 times. To get the ultimate yes for a buy is easier when you have this consistency of yes. It also happens for a no. So they are taught that their companion is being intelligent. They will seek to maintain harmony with that relationship and that decision. Compliment close. This is where you compliment people or compliment what they do or compliment people around them or their style. It shows that you need to be nice to them, tell them how wonderful they look and how amazing and impressed they are to you. Cast them as an expert. So they sell to themselves. That's the best form of sales, when you allow people to make decisions for themselves. Someone walks into your shop, picks up the laptop and looks at it and says, this is Cortudo. This is 2016 version, isn't it? Wow. You could compliment them at that point and say, are you a genius? You're a genius, you are. Are you a tech savvy person? Tell them how others will be impressed by this. Also tell them how impressed you are with them as a person. You could also ask what they do. People like to be asked what they do. They want to know exactly how they will sound to people. People like to sing their own trumpet. So admire their confidence and integrity, then ask for the sale. It makes the sale very easy for you. These are examples. Wow, you really know your stuff. Would you like to buy this now? Well, as an expert, you will understand how good this is. Or you could say, are you a tech-savvy person? You seem to know about electronics. That gives them a feeling, a positive feeling of being an expert and want to buy from you. That's a compliment close. This is how compliment close works. It works through flattery and massaging the person's ego. Let them feel very big. The good feeling makes them part of the business, part of the decision-making process, and which allows easy flow of the money from their pocket or from their credit card. It can help to associate the person with the product. So the person is already using the product and feels confident about the product. You could also say, why don't you have it? Why don't you try it? So they feel their sense of identity becoming attached to the product. It also works by being nice to the other person, so they feel obliged to be nice to you and buy from your product. Demonstration close. Demonstration close is a technique if you are able or do a spectacular demonstration of your product that really makes them wow. This closing techniques goes for products you need to demonstrate. I always tell people, don't ever go to a client's office without taking a demo, a video, or something to show the client how your product works. Even if it's an insurance policy, you should have an annuity form that shows what he's going to get every year or every month or every decade. If you can do it with them there, then use a video. Otherwise, add impact, demonstrate how it works. And beyond that, after your first demonstration or second, let them do it themselves. It's very key, especially in the car selling business. Let people have a feel of what they want to buy. In fact, research has shown that when people hold things and demonstrate with it, there is a connection between what they have done and the product. They really don't want to let go. Examples are as follows. I see bulletproof vests. Let me wear one and see how it works. You won't believe this. I didn't either when I first saw it. Just watch. Then you make the demonstration. Now, the demonstration close works by giving them evidence, especially pictorial evidence, that they cannot deny. And whatever people cannot deny, the brain actually takes it as a yes. So they make a decision based on visual representation of what they want to buy. Now, it's particularly effective if they have already predicted that your demonstration will not work. And when you walk around it and show them, you make their prediction false. They have to reverse the belief on which they have based their judgment on before. And they'll be your proponent. They tell other people how they did not believe, but now they saw with their eyes and demonstrated with their hands, and it worked. Distraction close. Distraction close is a technique that is deliberately used when people are distracted. You wait when they are distracted and you ask a question. Probably when they are playing with their kids, playing with their phone, or a call comes in, you ask them the question. So what we want to do at this point is that we want to catch them on a weak moment when their mind is not too effective to make the first decision. Now, your job is to go for the close and give them the contract to sign. That is pressing the button for the close. When your phone rings, you can say, so you want this now, right? The person will nod or do something. Or you could say, when there's a lot of disturbance or distraction, you can just say, can you just quickly approve this? Let me get to the other formalities. Or here's a cup of coffee. Will you like some cake? Just sign here and we'll proceed with the other. This is how distraction close works. By waiting until they are approaching emotional overload or have only a part of their rational mind on you, at these times, they will not be thinking quite as carefully about objecting to you. What they are thinking on is what they are doing or what has distracted them. I love the golden bridge close. The golden bridge techniques looks at when a person wants to take a particular option and don't want the customer to take the other one. But you don't want to mention it to them, but show how all of the other options are feasible and desirable. Now what you want to do here is that you want to put all the options and the cards on the table. You expect them to choose, but you want to direct and guide them. That is what's called selling. Then you let them choose the best options available to them, available to you. Now, sorry, we're out of that one. Oh, that one is really expensive anyway, and that one has got really bad reviews, and personally I won't like to recommend it to you, but I have this one I can guarantee. Those are the ways to get the golden bridge close. It's like saying take my way or the highway. Nobody wants to take the highway, so they will usually like to take your way. How it works. The Sun Tzu, the famous Chinese general whose book I've read many times, has always proposed that to win a war, you can win without bloodshed or fighting. Build your enemies a golden gate bridge. By this, it means You corner them so that they can rather buy from you without much hassle, much stress. So what you do at that point is that you back off a little and let them live with dignity, just like just in the direction that you want them to go. The golden bridge close thus works by closing off all options except the one you keep open. We use this typically, probably we want a number of chickens to pass through a doorway. We close the other way and we keep chasing them towards that door. The handover close. When you're getting near to a closure, or if you are having problems, handing over the actual closure to another person is the solution. Sometimes when clients give you problem, you spend time with them, you hand over the whole process and say, Mr. Clement, I'd like to introduce you to our best salesman last year. He's going to close this order while I attend to something else. Will you mind? You can frame this as a different process. For example, where your job was to help the customer choose and the next person is to agree fine details, agree price, or just take down the details. The handover close could be used in the following way. Right, now that you've got the right fit, Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones, please help him sort out the paperwork. Sir, is that okay? Now you could also say, you have said that price is important to you, fine. Mrs. Williams is our senior manager and is going to take over from me now so that she can give you an exceptional service. You could also say, Mrs. Kingsley, thank you for calling Charles Efe Consulting. I'll be handing you over to the Clement, our award-winning sales rep for the past 2 years. You need to be careful so that the customer do not see you as handing him over and seeing him as a stubborn person, but to hand him over to the best person that can take the next step of closing the deal. How it works: when a new person takes over, they may act as if everything else has been agreed. The new person is not encumbered with any baggage, and the customer may be reluctant to go over any previous detail or objection that was given before. So this process can be used when junior people are used to explain the details of products and further push the customer to a more senior person to take over the price negotiation and the contract closure. Humor close. The humor close is exciting because you're trying to generate emotions by getting them amused, telling a joke, or making them a remark. Whichever way, you want to put them in a relaxed environment so they can make the last decision. This is particularly useful when they are very tense. Sit them down, offer them water, joke about something, but be careful that you don't joke about something that irritates them. Probably the person might be a Man U fan who lost the game yesterday and you joked about it, and they might take offense. So self-deprecating humor is often a safe bet and shows you are confident and likable. So example of humor close as follows. Oh, go on. It will make both our wives very happy. Don't you think so? Or you could say, if you don't buy this now, I'll be told to go home and stand in the corner. I'm sure you won't want me to get that hot. Or you could say, I do better not sit down in case the boss sees me. I don't want to lose my job. So how does this work? The humor close works by making people relax and happy. Because you make them relax and happy in a very convenient environment where they like you, they will less likely object to your sale. When you make someone laugh, they will likely make you laugh by buying from you. Never the best time to close. Most times people say, I don't want to buy now. Can I think about it later? People wonder whether they should buy now or they should buy later. Your job is to show them the reason why buying later could be detrimental to them. Tell them about what they will miss and what other people have missed from buying later. So if you give example of moment where when someone waited and was waiting for the best time and that best time never came. Example is as follows. If you leave it until next year, you will have 1 year less to enjoy this product. Why not buy it now? Or you could say, the best time to buy is when you need it. Which I do say now, wouldn't you? My friend spent his whole life looking for the perfect wife, and apparently he got to discover that there's no perfect woman. Or you could say, as there's no perfect person, there's no perfect time. The right time is now. This is the best way to close a never the best time close or objection. How it works. The never the best time close works by refrain delaying tactics as value destroying procrastination. Let the person see through your eye and see how important for you to make the sale now so that they can start enjoying the product. The next closing technique is called quality close. Quality close emphasizes quality over other factors, especially price. Remember that when people talk about how other people will be impressed by the quality of the product, what they mean is that how they'll be impressed by making that quality decision. So talk about how quality products last longer, waste less, require less maintenance, among other things. Sell on quality, not on price. These are examples of quality close. For a one-off payment, you will get a non-stop quality. Is that not worth it? You could also say the quality of this product shows your quality of thinking and the person you are. You could also say this will last like forever. You could say once you try this, you will never want another brand anymore. Believe me. You could also say this product is far more reliable. Thank you, and you will thank me later. The question is, you must begin to arouse the customer to see quality in the value of what you're offering to him or her. How does quality close work? It works this way by appealing either to the other person's vanity or to their sense of long-term value, because everybody wants something durable, even if they pay so little for it. So for vanity, you are associating their identity with quality and say, with someone of your caliber, you should be using this quality. Or with the quality of the work you want to do, you should buy this type of laptop, not this type. Or you could say for value, you would say you are refraining price across time and telling them that this laptop is going to last you for like forever. Why don't you buy it and coming back every time for repairs and lifelong maintenance costs? This is how quality close works. There's something called shame close. The shame close makes them ashamed of the current product they're using and their inaction for not buying. Have you ever walked into an electronic shop with a laptop and someone asks you, wow, which year did you buy this laptop? Imagine someone walked into a phone shop with a very old modern phone and is like, wow, I remember this phone, 1982, I used to have something like this. It shows how unfashionable they are and how others may laugh at them. Frame not buying as stingy and miserly, and let them think that they deserve to have an enjoyable life. So you need to highlight other social rules that they are breaking the cost of not buying from you. Examples are as follows. Number one, can your mobile cell phone access the net at mega speed? Are you wearing that last decade fashion? I think your son really deserves a new one. Don't you think so? Everyone will wear that on that day. One day, you don't want to be left out. So how does it work? The shame clause works like this. It works by highlighting the social rules that the person is breaking and bringing it to their notice. It also may work by appealing to their vanity, because everybody has a weak spot. The shame clause is also called the guilt clause. You make them feel guilty for not taking care of themselves and making them feel they deserve the best for themselves. This is what is called the shame clause or the guilt clause. The summary clause. I love the summary clause because it summarizes the list of benefits the other person will receive, telling them the full extent of what they are going to get for their value and or money. People want to know what they are going to get in exchange for parting with their money, so make it sound very impressive using full phrases and positive words. Positive words are like fantastic, impressive. Don't use normal or okay words, which are just normal words or negative words. Use some words that carry positive emotional gains. Go into details, separating out as many sub-items and features you can, but also fit the description into a reasonable space of time. Your goal is to impress them with what they are getting, not to bore them with excessive details. Remember, it's a summary clause and it has to be a summary detail. Let's talk about examples of summary clause. You could say, so as well as the basic product, you are getting free delivery, a 5-day exchange assurance plus a comprehensive guarantee. Don't you think that is massive? Or you could say, this comes with an easy carrying bag and includes a remote control. With batteries included? Yes, of course. This you get from us and nowhere else. So you summarize the features, especially add-ons that they're going to get. So the summary clause works by repeating what has already been agreed. Putting it all together makes it seem like an even bigger package in the mind of the customer. Testimonial clause. The testimonial clause uses happy customers or happy moment of customers to convince other customers. You could show them happy letters written by customers to you, or happy moment where the customer comes back feeling excited, or emails sent by customer to you, happy customer doing a stunt because they use your solution and it gave them a great feeling. So you need to persuade happy customers to act as references for you, and that other person can either call up or they can visit. So you could say, hello customer, we have a number of happy customers that have used our products. Example are ABC DCB Limited, and you could call them now and see what they are going to say. But be careful to ensure that the customer feels valued and does not feel they are being bribed to give you testimonials. Now, examples of testimonial clause are as follows. Number one, XY Corporation are regular customers. They have been with us for 10 years. Or you could say, we have several customers who are happy to act as reference site for us. Would you like us to arrange a visit to meet them? This is how testimonial clause works. It works by providing evidence from a credible source, because the source must be credible, can be located. If they do not trust you, they are much more likely not to trust the person who is similar to them. Okay? In conclusion, my name is Charles Efe. I'm a PMP, I'm a certified business analyst, and I have an MBA. I'm a small business coach, and I teach people how to build and scale their businesses. These are my contact details. You can contact me for any free business coaching or advice. Thank you very much, and do have a great day. Thank you for taking eLearn Math. Bye bye for now.